This is not a rocket science version of doing video. I am no expert on doing video. What I'm looking at and everything that I'm bringing to the world is how can I create the simplicity around something that has a good quality. Now, this isn't going to be your 100% like everybody and the brother who has all this great video equipment who are going like, hey, here's how you do a video. Go buy a $150 gimbal. Go buy, a $75 edit video recording app. Go out and do it right. So this is going to be, hey, here's a $15 app. Here's a $15 tripod. Here's a $15 iPhone holder. And here's your feet. Like, you can do this all on your phone. All the apps that I'm going to show you that I utilize to do the video stuff is all going to be native to the iPhone. So I'm sure there's translations to it too. The world of Android. I just don't know Android stuff as much. And I'm sure that a lot of their native apps function in a similarity to the way that they do on the iPhone. So my hope is that y'all understand how to Android users translate this. But everything that I do is 100% on my phone. So let me go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. Present screen. Broadcast. Start broadcast. So when I look at the supplies that I use just to shoot simple videos, I use a very and again, the reason why this is not the perfect way to do a video. This is the most simple way to do a video so that most of us who have aversion to video can just get out there and start doing stuff, okay? This is the tripod I use. I legitimately have this tripod just for its simplicity and its ability to travel. It makes it really small. It's very compact and it can get the shot that I need. It's real simple to use. I use this as to hold my phone. I love this because it's actually pretty sturdy. It can go on a tripod or I can put it on a desk. I can put it on any surface and it actually holds the phone really, really well. And I'll make sure Crystal will send all this out to you in links so you have all the stuff. The apps that I use, so I was talking about a second ago, I use this application right here called Filmic Pro. The reason why I use Filmic Pro is because it has a Steadicam in it. So it helps me if I'm going to be using it as a sorry, I'm muting you, Miss Beverly. So I have it to be able to have stabilization. Most of us, one of the challenges is that when we hold our phone is that it's real shaky footage. This will help you get rid of that shake a little bit. Still isn't going to be perfect, but it does have in camera stabilization, which is really nice. The other thing that I really like about it is that you can set your frame speed, which this is a little bit of an advanced feature for us, but you can set the frame speed, which is really good. However, I keep everything incredibly simple, 60 frames, just to keep it all coming in and going out, being produced the same way. So it crashed on me a second ago. It's not an iPad native app, and so I don't know if it'll actually load. And so I may have to just give you some screenshots of that from my phone later, and I'll send those out as well. The other one that I use is iMovie, real simple. Sorry, iMovie. Just real simple, the native phone app for movie editing on the iPhone. And then I use Adobe Spark Video. Spark Video. And so I use Adobe Spark Video. There's a free version of it. It'll have the Adobe logos and everything in it. But it is the way that the reason why I use iMovie is to be able to get the transitions in there perfectly because it automatically drops the transitions. I don't have to do anything extra. And the reason why I use Spark Videos because then I can go in and separate the clips to make them make sense for how I want letterings to be in my videos because I want to be able to have titles and such. So let me show y'all a quick version of a video that let me see. I'm going to have to go out to this Facebook. And I'm going to go to Randy Olive. I'm going to go to my Realtor page. And so, again, this isn't anything fancy, but I shot this video utilizing everything I just showed you. So technical difficulty right there with the volume. But you'll get the point. You don't need to necessarily hear the volume to kind of get the point. The titles I put in there, those were scrubbed in through the Adobe Spark Video. I'm going to scrub through a little bit, and you'll see once it gets into the photos, see all the transitions happening in the background. Again, this isn't perfect, but I shot it by holding it in my hand. It would have been better if I'd have had my tripod, but I was riding my bike, and so I was setting up these shots while riding my bike. It's not perfect, again, by no means, but while people aren't doing much of anything out there, it's really a good thing for us to be doing something, to be able to get out there and get something going. This is an easy way to do that, to be able to get your videos out there. So I'm going to back out of this and go back to what I do. Okay, so this is start to finish. In Film Mic, I have all of the stuff ready to go, and it's already there. So these, I take in Film Mic Pro and I kick those clips out. I went ahead and copied those clips over. If you look, these are all the clips that I used for shooting. I'm going to show you, like, all I did was hold my phone and scan across. Again, like I said, if you wanted to get an upgraded tripod, you can do all this on a tripod and keep it all level and easy. I just did it this way because at the end of the day, something's better than nothing, and this isn't a bad view. Like, a lot of people will kind of tend to attach to it because it shows them a little bit about what everything really looks like. So the clips right here, like, I did an intro video where I walked up. The other thing that I like about Film Mic Pro is that I can use my AirPods as a wireless mic. If you're doing it all on your phone, your iPhone will not allow you to use your AirPods or like a wireless listening or whatever device that you have for listening, making calls or whatever. It will, your phone app usually will not allow that. Android, I'm not sure. Android may allow that, but iPhones will not allow your video, your native camera to the iPhone to be able to take and use that as a mic. Film Mic Pro will allow you to attach a Bluetooth device for your mic, which is why I like it, because then I can take and I can walk out from a distance and come back to the camera. And so give it a little bit of space, give it a little bit of depth, a little bit of variety. And then I did that clip, which was 30 seconds, and then everything else I did was just B footage. Everything else I did was just B-roll footage. I just walked up to a park, or I actually rode my bicycle to a park, scrolled through the scene. I walked up to the bridge, scrolled through the scene. And again, this would look cleaner if you had a tripod that had a swivel head. And I'm still giving you the version of this story without any of that, because I want it to be something to where you could literally put a phone in your pocket and start driving around your neighborhood to be able to get this video. Okay, so the next thing I did was I just simply went through in iMovie. So I'm going to load iMovie up, and I keep typing on my keyboard, but this is on my iPad. I load in iMovie, start a new project, create a movie, and then it's going to ask me what I want to use for that, and I need to go through and select recently added video. And so all of these clips that are my recently added, all I do is I start selecting all of the ones that I want. I say that. Of course, it's not going to do the way I want it to do. Okay, hold on. There we go. Got to hit the check mark. So I go through and I select all the videos, and I've got them all in the order that I want them to be in, so that everything is just going to run smoothly. That's a really important piece of the puzzle. You want to make sure that everything's in the order that you want it to be in. It just helps you with that in the editing process. So as I select everything, I create the movie, and it's going to go through and it's just going to drop it all into iMovie. And what it's done, the main thing that I'm going for here is it made all of my transitions immediate. So I don't have to do any editing through the clips for transitions. All of my transitions are already automatic. That's the reason why I use iMovie. This will take me 2 seconds to be able to load it all in. You saw how quickly it went through. At that point, now it's done. So I can take this movie and I kick it back out. So now I'm going to take and I'm going to save it to my video. And so I want it to be HD. If you want to have a 4K video, you're welcome to, but I'm going to kick it out. And so now this whole video is going to export. Doesn't take very long. This video is only like 2 minutes long, a little over 2 minutes long. So I purposely wanted to do everything in real time to show you guys how I did what I did, just so that it helps you to understand that, like, one of the challenges that we always have is the time frame for how long is this going to take me, and this isn't going to take you very long to do things this way. Again, everything I want to do, I want to take the overcomplicated and simplify it so that we can get started. A lot of you will get good at video and will be able to do some advanced scenes. Like, I think for some of you, once you get good at this, it will be it would be worth an investment to buy a $150 gimbal. And essentially what that does is it helps you to have a steady shot, and it moves the camera for you. It's an electronic kind of monopod, if you will, but it's handheld and it keeps everything steady. Some of you may want to invest in a heavy duty tripod, and some of you may want to invest in a mic. Some of you may even want to invest in a video camera, which then you export into iMovie to do all this stuff. You can do a little bit of anything. My goal is to give you essentially the, let's see, 30, 45, what, $50 version of this. Like, that's my goal. How can you do this for $50 and the equipment that you have, which is a phone? So now that's exported. I'm going to load it into Spark Video. So Spark Video. I'm going to create a new video. I'm going to skip to the editor. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to add. See, it's so simple. All I did was add, and I'm going to go on my iPad and video recents. Of course, this is going to be, let me see. Let me make sure that kicked out properly. Yep, it's right there. Okay. So back to the video. And then I'm going to have to click on videos. And there's that. So here's the deal. When I drop it in, Spark Video only allows you to do 30-second clips at a time. Okay. So when I was doing this, I wanted to be able to clip this out to put in the words. And so I wanted to think about how long it takes for somebody to read through the words. The way that I did that last video is I actually only clipped it out to about 15 seconds for each shot. And then I click done. And so it takes that little bit of clip and it shows it there. Then you see this little icon. I'm not going to touch it, but up at the top right hand screen, you'll see there's a scissors, and then there's an arrow pointing into like a rectangle, and then the arrow, that middle one, the arrow pointing into a rectangle. If I click that, what it does is it picks up where I left off last, and it allows me to make that smooth transition. So I select another 15-second clip. I click done. What it did was it picked up from there. So then I clicked that again and another 15-second clip. Done. And so I did that to the whole video. I just spliced it into 15-second sections. And then what I did from there is that in each clip, I wanted it to say, after I got through saying my portion, you saw all the slides that came up that said, this neighborhood is filled with blah, 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 blah. I literally went to the HOA webpage and I copy and pasted their text from the HOA webpage just to show them what was happening with the neighborhood. If I click on this little plus sign, I can add text, and you see that it just went ahead and added the text size. So I go in and I want to add text. I want to say, I'm just going to go back to, let me go copy some text. So I'm going to go into this, pretend like this is a web page for the website, and I want this sentence. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to add, and I'm going to paste in the text, and there it is. And so now I have text behind it. Now you may want to resize that text. You may want it to look different. I can do all of that. I may want to move it around the screen. I can do any and all of that. The other thing that this has in Spark is it has different themes. So I can go through and create like a different look for the text, for the video, for everything. I actually really like the mountains one, and I also like the elevate. But you can go through and you can select any of these, and it just changes the way everything looks just a little bit. Let me just reset that. And so now I have the text ready to go for that scene. Okay. If I go back to theme, if I go back into this scene, I can go through and change the music that's happening behind it and all that good stuff. But if I look now, let me close that. It's going to scroll through and show that it's fading through each of the scenes without me having to go through and create this scene fading moment. It's 15 seconds later. It moves into the next scene. You can't hear it very well just because I'm working on my iPad in real time while I'm showing you guys. Like, I'm editing this video in real time with you. But there's different music that you can play in the background. You could go through and select a different song for each of these that matches your video theme a little bit better. So, but now you've got music in the background. You've got transitioning slides. You've got text that is scrolling through your video. And all you've done is really just taken in and spliced together all of your B footage for the film, for the neighborhood. And then at the end of the day, just took that and dropped it in from the HOA. So now you've got a great descriptions of the neighborhood. You've got pictures and views of every single thing that's happening in the neighborhood. You've got a little intro video for you explaining like, hey guys, this is Randy Olive with Randy Olive Real Estate Agency, blah, blah, blah. Just want to share with you a little bit about one of my favorite neighborhoods in Cypress, Texas, Longwood. And that little 2-minute section of video, if you start now marketing it, is going to be a big deal. Now you put this any and everywhere that you can. Like, gosh, even go into the HOA pages and say like, hey, created a quick video for your neighborhood. If anybody you know is looking to move into the neighborhood, I'm your gal. I'm your guy. Whatever that may look like. So now that I'm done doing all this, I just simply click share and I kick it out. I would tell you to save it to your camera roll versus saving it anywhere else, because it is going to get a little bit janky if you post it native to those pages. Just save it, and then you go through and you paste it to your Instagram TV, post it to your Facebook, market it through Facebook, anything that you want. The one thing that I'm going to make sure that you guys know, this is the second thing. All of this has background, all the B footage has background noise to it. That third icon down, I gotta click on that, and I want it to be muted. For all of my B footage film, I want it to be muted. So you've got to go through each of them and mute that background mute that background noise, because really all we want to see is the pictures. We want to read the video, and then Adobe is going to drop in the music in the background. So now you've got a little bit of background noise happening. But when you get all the way to, let me take and add in the video scene where, let's see. I'm going to cancel this. Let me just add in another video, add in another scene, add in a video. So the scene where, this scene where I'm talking, I'm going to go ahead and add that in. On the scenes where I'm talking, where I actually want them to hear me, the background music is going to be louder. So you want to hit that, and you actually want it to be loud. So it's got soft or muted. You want anything where you're talking and you want somebody to hear you, you want that to be categorized as loud. And then just kick the video out, save it. Obviously, you want to watch it a couple times, readjust some things that may have been weird. But the biggest thing, again, just to kind of go through all of the elements that I do. I know it sounds like a lot, but we literally did this in the 15-minute block that we're sitting here. It'll take you longer once you get used to it. It won't. So I've driven out to every single spot that I want to take B footage of, and I've taken B footage. I've taken a shot of me saying whatever I want to say. I've then gone through and trimmed all of those. I've trimmed all of those scenes. So I've gone into each one of those things and I've trimmed them down so I get rid of the slack on either end of it. So now I have clean pictures. Those I've all saved into a folder so I know how to go grab them and immediately drop them all into iMovie. So I open up iMovie, create a new project. I dropped all those scenes in order into iMovie so that iMovie automatically kicks transitions into each of them. I then export that video to my camera roll. So now it's saved to my camera roll. I then open up Adobe Spark and I load it into Adobe Spark and I add the clips in 15-minute sections using their little icon with the arrow pointing towards the square. I mute all the B footage video using the microphone thing, the microphone icon or the speaker icon. I then go through and copy in all the text from the HOA. I make sure the background music is set that kind of matches the video, makes sense. And then I go through and make sure that the spaces where I'm speaking and it needs to be loud, that I readjust the volume to be loud. And then I save this video and I use it wherever it needs to go. Again, I know that sounds overly simplified right now for me and understanding video and having done it. But if you practice this 3 or 4 times, I bet you could do. It would take you about an hour to shoot all of your footage. It'll take you about another 30 minutes to trim each of those sections. So you would go and you would trim them. And what I mean by that is that after I shoot all the footage, I'm going to literally go in and one at a time. So this is 23 different shots. I'm going to go in one at a time and go edit. I'm going to trim it. See, this is that little spot right here. If I drag this, it trims the footage. I'm going to trim it to be exactly how I want it to be. I'm going to save it as a new video clip. And now I've got it trimmed exactly how I want. The way that I kept these things sorted is once I kicked out that new scene, I just hearted it so that it saved it as one of my favorites. And then I copied everything over from my favorites album. That is neat. Okay, that is how I did all of the video stuff that I did. If you have questions or curiosities or anything like right now, I'd be happy to answer any of them. Again, I'm no video expert. My main thing is looking at what tools do we have in our hand that could help us to be able to do this at a high level. And for some of us, it's just about getting started. Great tips and tutorial. Thanks, Nicole. What else, guys? Everybody already dropped out. No, I see you guys there. Okay. Let me see. I'm seeing some questions pop up here. Okay. When you were speaking, was someone else recording? No, that's why I got a tripod. So the tripod had my phone and my tripod, and behind it, you couldn't see it, but was my bicycle. So it was a terrible idea for the day because it was a really, really hot day. But I went out in my jeans and my t-shirt and I went recording video. So I literally hopped on my bike and started going. And so the tripod that I used was that Amazon Basics tripod that I showed y'all at the beginning. It's literally this tripod that I use. That's the attachment that I use. So where did he get it from? What is the it? Define it. So Rob, ring light added expense for doing videos that are of your neighborhood stuff. No, for doing videos that are like what I'm doing, recording stuff in a studio space to be able to do teaching and lessons and stuff. Absolutely. I use I use a ring light everywhere. So when I'm doing this stuff, I use a ring light, but you're not going to need a ring light. Diva light. Thanks, Nikki. All right. Rich Nickel, the background music, where did you get it from? Oh, so that's why. So the reason why I use Adobe Spark Video is that it's simple for them to be able to do the words and to do the music. So it automatically pipes in. They have generic music, generic kind of like random music playing that you can use. I use the New Year. I think that's how you spell it. Neweer ring light. It's like $80, $86 or something like that on Amazon. So if you want to look, like, I know that we're not talking about necessarily studio space video, but like I use those two lights. So this one right here lights my pad so that that's always lit. That ring light lights my face, so my face is always lit. So that's my studio setup. And I don't use a mic. Somebody asked me the other day, do I use a mic? I need to probably get a mic. That probably would be great. But I don't use a mic. Stay lit. There, I like that. Stay lit. Keep it lit. All right, guys. What else? What are the questions? This is like, again, I am 100% not an expert in this stuff, but I do look at ways that I can make it simple for people who have no idea what to do. You're welcome, Kim. People are like, I don't got any questions. Time to shoot video. That's right. Time to shoot video. And keep it simple, guys. Make it easy. All of you are confined to your own neighborhoods. Like, what's going to stop you from going out and just practicing this in your front yard? You don't have to like go out and try to shoot the video. Like, go and shoot a video. Okay. Don't go shoot the video. Go shoot a video. The way I started learning a lot of this stuff, Adam, I got a GoPro because I wanted to take videos of kids, and so I would kick all that stuff out and just like randomly splice stuff together. So I did it making videos of my kids that were just kind of janky old videos. Okay, guys, if there really isn't anything else, I can go ahead and stop the recording. You guys go shoot some videos and get it out. The next best thing you could do after that is market it. It's got to be out there. It's got to be in the world. Create data with it. Okay, y'all are welcome. If you need anything, let me know. I'll send out like a recap of all this. And y'all are amazing. Toodles, magoodles.